Hello and welcome to Pankration Philosophy, episode 3. We made it so far, guys. Hi, I'm your host, Pocholo Cruz, and with me is...
Irving Duarte, first time here. Sorry, my broken English.
English. Starting off strong.
Yeah, bear with me.
Broken English. That's right, this is America. Don't worry. Two guys with foreign names talking English. That's the world we live in.
Exactly, that's America right there.
Yeah,
Immigrants.
America. Yeah, immigrant mentality, if you will. Okay. Anyway, so our subject for today, we're going to talk about pretty much martial arts journeys. Everyone's on a different journey. We'll just talk about essentially our own. So I'll refer this question to you, Irving. So how did you get started in martial arts?
For me, it's I guess like a lot of people, what happened was I got bullied in school.
I can see why. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Yeah, like surprise. Yeah, I was bullied in school, and then my
name's Irving. So It's so easy.
I was always a nice guy, right? So pick on you because you're a nice guy. So that's how it started. My family was like, "Hey, we gotta fix this." I came in with a black guy.
Oh man!
And they took me to learn kung fu.
Yeah, don't let those girls do that to you. No, that was my teacher.
That's what happened. Yeah.
It was Mrs. Ramirez. Senora Ramirez, no.
Yeah, so pretty much got beat up by girls. No, I'm just kidding. But it was like
no. It's this kind of show.
Yeah. So one day I came in with a black guy, and then my grandpa said like we need to do something about it.
Okay.
They took me to kung fu when I was young. That's how I started.
Okay.
So I started doing kung fu, started head kicking people.
And then the problems would stop. Kensei knows what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kitchen Kensei. It's like, okay, so kung fu, and like about how old were you? Were you like
4 or 5?
4 or 5, so fairly young. Okay.
Yeah, that's
just head kicking people in.
Well, yeah, they were beating me up really bad. I was just like,
uno, dos, tres.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you want to play rough? Yeah. So that's pretty much where it started. Like I just needed something to boost my confidence.
Okay.
I've been doing it like since.
Been doing it ever since. Okay. All right. So more on background. So where you originally from?
I'm from Ciudad Juarez.
Where the hell's that?
In Mexico. It's funny. I say Ciudad Juarez. That's the correct pronunciation, and they're yeah. And then I go Juarez. Oh, I know what it is.
Hey, boy, you speak American.
Yeah. So it's like where they kill all those people with the cartels. It's like.
But wait. So what's the first part you said? Like, is that part of this?
Ciudad means
it's just city. Okay.
Juarez City.
Yeah, I thought I was like, I see you, Dad. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Juarez City. That's the exact translation.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah, but that's how you properly pronounce it.
So I was learning kung fu by a Mexican. You know how that went.
They teach you some Mexican judo too.
Yeah, you know.
You don't know who you're messing with.
So you know how that went. It was
went great. I know all the Mexican kung fu champions.
Yeah. So I started doing kung fu, and then from there I was trying to play soccer like any other kid in Mexico.
What? A Mexican playing soccer?
Exactly.
Stop the presses.
Yeah, it's a surprise to everyone, but in Mexico we like to play soccer. So I started playing soccer, and
what position were you in soccer?
I was midfielder.
Also, you ran around a lot. Okay, explains your fighting style. Continue.
So I was playing soccer for a bit, and then I had an opportunity to come here to America to play.
Okay.
And then
like college-wise?
Yeah. In Kansas City.
Kansas City? Oh no.
Yeah, it was like a tryout. It was not a big deal, but
was it like a semi-pro thing, or was it like a college?
It was like a college. I was gonna play for college or something. I really don't know. It was like I got a couple of emails that wanted.
How did they get? Did you have like highlight film or something, or did you?
I signed up into a page. Okay. Like it was like of all high school teams and people, and
I see.
And that's how they found me.
And that's how All
right. So that's how I did, and then I started. My parents couldn't send me here.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad went like, "Hey, I have money to send you there, but I don't have money to bring you back." So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I just stopped, and then.
So did you ever make it to the Kansas?
No.
Or no. So it was just pretty much you just didn't have the resources to go.
Yeah. So I was like, so. it was like a bummer for me for that time, and I just kind of decided like I was 16, 17, and I was not playing at a high level.
Okay.
And at that age, you're not gonna make it in soccer.
Not gonna make it,
yeah,
okay.
in 16, you have to be already playing at a high level.
At a high level, or else you're not gonna get.
Yeah, unless you get a big break or something. But
okay, or you break everyone else's.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
that kind of big break.
and I didn't. So I stopped, and I always did martial arts, so it was kind of like a normal progression. Like I always like.
You still wanted to be in athletics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always wanted to be an athlete, so I did that, and then I went to MMA, and then started training in Mexico, which was brutal. Like,
so brutal, like how so? Like what makes you say that?
It's nothing.
Like it was really hot.
It was.
No air conditioning.
The truth is, it's like white belts teaching white belts.
White belts teaching white belts.
It was like only boxing and then just heart. You know,
boxing and heart.
So
well,
you know how that
heart, right?
You know how that
went great.
It was just like war, gym wars all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pedal to the metal all the time. It was not a safety environment to be
not
in.
a safe environment. Okay. Okay. Just learning how good your chin is.
Yeah, exactly. You're learning if you're tough or not.
Chin test 101.
Exactly. So it was like that's how I knew how I did not want to train. I was like, this is not
can't
not
be
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I had my first fight there, and it was a mess. It was horrible.
So I remember you talked about your fight before. Okay, but anyway, so more so back before that, like what was the structure like? Like, so did you have like you're saying it's like white belts teaching white belts, but was it like how was the coaching like there? Like,
well, the thing is that my coach
so you have one coach?
It was one coach that he was still learning.
That was still learning.
Yeah, because they don't know like, and at that time, right now they're probably way better. But at the beginning, it was like very basic and stuff. Like I was his first MMA fighter.
Okay.
So it was like the class was
and
like
before this I was teaching Zumba.
I was a yoga instructor. It's natural progression.
But now I have a fighter here. Anyway,
She's like he was looking for MMA, so I was like, fuck it, let's do MMA too.
Okay.
And he was actually karate instructor.
So he was a karate instructor in kickboxing.
He was actually very good at striking.
So he was a good striker. Okay. And then, but he was like he was his first MMA. So then, how did they get you a fight then? Like, how was?
It's easy.
It's easy to be like, hey man, hey, you want to? All right, there we go.
Yeah, it's like a test. Like, see if you really want it. It's more about you asking for it. It's like, I want to compete. All right, let's do it. Get a fight.
Okay.
And just see if you're tough enough.
See if you're tough. Okay.
Yeah. And that's how.
If you survived the gym war, now you survive.
Yeah, now you're ready.
Another gym war with someone you don't know. Okay.
It was a street fight more than anything.
Okay.
And I told you, right? It was like I cut weight for. I didn't know I was fighting the same day.
Oh, so it's safe. So you cut. Yeah, you were telling me this before, but you cut weight on the same day. And you cut like how many pounds?
18 pounds.
18 pounds on the same day, and then fought.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was never again. Never again. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then the adrenaline, the nerves, the competition, it was like, it was bad. So the rules were kind of funky too.
Okay, like how so? Like,
it started, so it was like an amateur fight. So
okay, you guys can only hit behind your back like this.
So it was like no slams. Because it was like a normal boxing ring, so it had no cushion in it.
Oh, no cushion. So if you hit it, you're going to get
slam.
Okay.
So it was the first thing, and then 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, I think, or 3 5-minute rounds. I can't remember.
Okay.
It was a blur. And so the rules were like, if you stopped them or something, it was like a point. And you gotta let them reset. Like, if you get them in a submission, I gotta tap them twice or something like that.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
that is weird. So if you submitted him, that's only 1 point.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so then why would you go for submission at that point?
It was weird because what happened was the fight started.
What if he broke his arm though? Well, I guess these are questions that they probably didn't ask.
Yeah, no, it was like what happened was the fight started. He threw like an overhand, like if he was holding like a shank or something. He was like,
racist.
Yeah. And I just like covered up and then took him down, mounted him, and then just pound him out.
Yeah.
I remember
this is first round still, right?
Yeah, I was like, trying to pound him out, and then they separated me
with the same.
Yeah, eyes closed, They pulled me out.
Incredible technique.
Yeah.
But that was 1 point for you?
And they were like, I thought I won,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then,
Well, what happened though?
and then they made us separate, and they like he was kind of like dazed, and they gave him like 30 seconds to come back.
30
to life.
seconds.
30 seconds.
Hey, this guy is knocked out. All right, let's give him 30. All right, get back out.
Yeah, okay, he's concussed. He's not dead. Okay, was he good?
He's good.
Yeah,
He's good
so
to go.
Let's keep the show going. So
Okay.
it was. We kept fighting, and then second round, same thing. I mounted him. I didn't finish him, but I was like, we're fighting, and then I got totally drained, and then the third round, it was like moving with hands down, just kind of like swaying. It was just survival mode, and then we finished that fight and we drawed.
A draw.
It was a
nice.
draw.
Okay.
So I was like, whoa.
Wow, that
okay.
was.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
So you almost killed this guy twice, and then it's a draw. That sounds right. Yeah.
Myself too was in the
That's
process
true.
with the cutting weight,
Yeah.
and it was horrible. And then after that, I knew like, okay, my coach has no experience.
Yeah, and like how old were you at this time? Were you like
17.
17. Okay,
Yeah.
so still fairly
17. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is not the way, but I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So what happened was I kept training, and I was getting ready to do a Grand Prix.
A Grand Prix, nice.
Yeah.
Pride?
Yeah, it was like Pride.
Yeah.
It was a Grand Prix of lightweights.
Yeah.
It was gonna be, of course, in the mall.
Of course.
So I was fighting in the mall. My first fight, it was in the mall. And
Well, I think that's how it is in third world countries. Everything's in the mall. It's like where you fight, same place to get my pants, you know, and where I go to the grocery store.
And I told you this, like we were in the ground, and I think he was her aunt or something, or my opponent. She was screaming at me. I could hear her screaming at me, but I was so nervous fighting. But I could hear she was really close. I was like, what?
He's just moving.
Yeah, the lady was so intense. I was like, damn,
that's
lady,
funny.
chill. But
hey, I'm beating up your nephew right now. Shut the hell up.
Let me concentrate. So I was getting ready for that, and then I went to the doctor because I had like a flu.
Okay.
And he gave me a cortisol shot, and it reacted on my body.
Oh damn! Like allergic reaction.
Yeah, like allergic. I get rash all on my body.
Oh damn. Okay.
And I went to the same doctor to get it fixed.
Yeah.
He gave me another one. I don't know if it's more stupid.
Hey man, let me give you. Hey, so the cortisone, but this cortisone will stop the first cortisone.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more stupid, me that I take it, or him.
You go back to the same doctor.
Yeah, it's
like seems legit, doc. Let's do it again.
He was an old dude. I was like, he's been through the.
Was he a doctor?
Yeah.
Doctor?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I went and I got really sick and couldn't train like for 2.5 years.
Oh, 2 years. Oh wow. So like your body just
couldn't. I just swelled up. I got like I was like swollen up, and I had like a lot of like pimples. It was like chicken pox for 2 years.
I see, because your system is just reacting to it.
Yeah.
Damn man,
they couldn't like really
just fucked you up, huh?
Yeah, touch me. It was like very painful.
Yeah. But wait. So this was after your second fight.
When I was getting ready for the Grand Prix.
Okay, but then what was the whole lady screaming at you, or was that your first fight?
I'm sorry, I'm my worst storyteller ever.
Yeah. Okay. So in preparation for your second fight, you end up going to see a great doctor, and then you're out for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're out. So like what? So now you're 19, 20 when you get back in it.
The truth, I was doing research.
And
just still like training, I guess, my mind, and I was looking for better coaches, better team.
Okay.
And Jackson's wasn't my first option because it's really close to where I'm from.
Plus it's a place called New Mexico, so
it was like legit. we maybe, and I just thing led to another, and I came up here. I was like, and it makes sense. I have family here.
Your family live in the area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of everything meshed.
They had nice bomber jackets there.
Yeah.
I'm only saying this because our camera guy is currently wearing a bomber jacket that his grandfather.
With history.
It's from 1961, ladies.
Yeah, ladies. Can you believe this man is single? Anyway, continuing on. So
Not for long with that jacket,
Exactly. And yes, I am single.
That's right. That's Ender Cleophas. Anyway, back to you, Irving. So you end up finding yourself here, like a few years later.
I just came here. I remember I trained with you the first time I came here.
What?
Yeah, it was in vacation. One vacation I came here, and I was just thinking of moving out and just training somewhere else. And then I just came to AMC and fell in love with the environment. It was like totally different than what I was used to. No macho mentality, no fighter gym. Like you walked in and it was like to each his own. It's just survival. It's survival, right?
Yeah. Survival defense.
Oh, that's stupid shit, and that doesn't allow you to grow. And there was nothing like that here, and I was like, this is a place.
Okay.
So I came here. It was like 2 years before I actually came here. I came, trained, loved it, and after that I just spent all my time just saving up money, getting stuff done so I can come here and train.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then and then now you're here, and now then throughout there, like what would you say has been like, so what changed when you first started, like let's say when you're young, and what has changed like up to now? Like what do you think is like the biggest difference between like when you were training when you were 5 up to like you training now?
Yeah, well the truth is like I didn't know. It was the beginning. I was just doing it for fun.
Okay.
It was just like I said, for self-defense. It was just as a necessity.
Head kick the schoolgirls.
It was just like a necessity, and didn't get to defend myself. And but later it became, like I said, fun, like a sport, something to do.
For sports wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just growing.
Competition wise.
Yeah, I always loved martial arts. It was like Dragon Ball Z was my thing. So it's like and so it was fun. It was something, I guess, part of my life because I grew up doing it. So
and became part of
and then when I started taking it seriously, I started training, and my mindset changed. It was more like, oh, I have to do this, and it was started turning not into a job per se, but it was like
we're just adding stress to it.
Yeah, stress to it. And then I came here, and then I learned from the pros and from the people who know. It's like you gotta go back. I'm going back to what it is.
To enjoying yourself.
To having fun, learning, loving the process. Because if you don't love the process, then why are you doing it?
Yeah, right? that's true. If you just add it. Yeah, well, I think that's a common thing a lot of people find when they're embarking, especially when they're embarking on something that was passionate, like for them. It's almost if you focus too much on it, it becomes no longer your passion. Like from there, because you start to forget like what brought you there in the first place. Yeah. So I think it's an interesting dynamic, like from there, and how you're mentioning how you almost like start thinking of it as a job, but what I read from that is like you're putting like focusing on things, on focusing on. I think the biggest thing on that is like you're focusing on things you can't control.
Exactly.
And then there's like the more you try to control things beyond your control, the more frustrated you're going to be because you're not going to be able to control that. I feel like the biggest thing is liking the process, and also just trusting that you enjoy what you're doing, because that's what's going to keep you further into it. So
I think that was my change of philosophy. Actually, it was just learning to love it again, and having fun, appreciating, like just like being aware of how lucky I am to be here. Because where I'm from, it's very difficult to travel, and like coming here to this country, I was, like I said, I was privileged to be here, and that's one thing I always keep in mind, that I'm just fortunate to train with you guys, and fortunate to train with the best coach in the world, which is Matt Hume.
Ender. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I thought you meant dating coach. Okay, no.
I am single.
Anyway, sorry to cut up your train of thought.
Yeah, but it was that. It was just being
enjoying
grateful
for your situation that you're in. Okay, and now, so given that mindset, has that changed really like what your goals are, or like how do you so that's how you continue to day, right? But then what do you So then how does that translate then to like what you're trying to work on, like from there?
Well, I think my goals haven't changed. Like I still wanna pursue this career as far as it takes me. It's just like learning, I guess, to not be so goal oriented, because that's how people do things, right? Oh, it's just the end goal. That's the prize, and not actually the journey. And I feel that's one of the things.
Those old cliches that they put in the back of the yearbooks.
Exactly. But it's true, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a couple of things that Matt has said before. It's like it's gonna be a long journey, a long process.
Yeah.
It's your journey as being a martial artist. So I think I'm just my goals haven't changed. It's just I appreciate the process, which I think it's important, you know, because I said it once before, right? If you don't like what you do, then why do it?
If you don't like, that's always what's been funny to me. Or I hear people's like, oh yeah, I hate doing this. And I was like, well, why? Why do you keep doing that? Or because a lot of people keep having the same problems that they'll do. Or another thing, like I get a sense of, is like people will complain no matter like what situation they're in, but then they'll blame other things, but they never really look at what hey man, if you're having problems everywhere, it seems like the common denominator I see is like you're everywhere.
Yeah, you're the variable.
That there's a problem. Sometimes you are
you're the problem.
Yeah, you are the problem. Like there, and it's just being able to look inward.
Yeah, just looking at it positive, because it's like this life, it's a lot of struggle, and it's always been a part of my life. It's never gonna be like, oh, you're gonna get to that promised land and everything's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's just like a happiness. It's just, I feel like a state, you know.
Yeah,
it's moments.
Yeah, happiness has moments. That's why, like, I recall like one thing that, you know, that stuck with me is like happiness is just a fleeting emotion. You know, you can't grasp on to happiness. Like, what you can. What is more stable is accomplishments, you know. But it's like, it's the point, your accomplishments aren't you. Your accomplishments are just something that you're able to do, but it's like that's how you build off to keep growing from there. So just understanding that you have done stuff before, and what you've done before can build off to more of what you can do. It's not necessarily what you are. It's just a part of something that you've done before from your history.
Yeah, because sometimes people are just focused on that goal and that drive, and goals, then you don't even appreciate. Oh, you already reached the goal, and then after that, what? Right?
What's gonna happen? Like, what was the purpose? What was the purpose of the goal? Like, from there, like where you're trying to be.
And I think something as athletes in this sport we face too is like, we lose our identity to this. It's like, oh, we're the fighters. Oh, and then like, what happens when you compete anymore? You can't fight. When you're not a fighter anymore, then what happens? You're not.
You're a nobody.
You're nothing, man. It's like.
I mean, that's always easy for me. I know as a nobody walking in, so I'll be a nobody walking out. So it's no big deal. Nothing's really changed.
But I think that's a good thing, though, right? You not that you think you're a nobody, but but it's like having that mindset that it doesn't matter, like, really the accomplishments or the things. It's more of a journey of growing as a human being.
I think that's true too. It's like it's once again, like you said, for identity. It's like you are not what you do. You just happen to do those things. You know, like who you are as a person is more than that. You know, Kensei may be a super powerful, swole fighter, but he's more than that. He's just like that as a man. Ain't that right, Kensei? Kensei's just saying, it is very true.
I'm sorry, guys. What I am.
Yeah, no, I mean, we would like to put him on camera, but he's just too big. You know, his presence is just overwhelming from there. But
and that's another thing that I liked when I came here. It was like, because none of the other coaches, other than Matt, mentioned, they were like, I'm looking to create the perfect martial artist, the perfect fighter, but no one said martial artist. And I've, like I said, done martial arts my whole life, and I respected that, like, old school philosophy, even though it's like a lot, it's like a performance art. Wushu is not like a competitive art, but I like the philosophy of, like, being a martial artist, doing kung fu, or being balanced in all aspects of your life.
Being
And
balanced, yeah.
that's what Matt wants, right? He wants martial artists, not
Yeah.
fighters.
Yeah.
So, and that's another reason I was like drawn into this. I was like, yes, that mindset that he has, I want as my own.
Yeah. So then, for your own definition, like, what's the difference between a fighter and a martial artist, like for you?
I think a fighter is just one aspect of being a martial artist. It's
Okay.
just competing.
Yeah.
I feel a fighter lives and dies by the results,
By results. Yeah.
not by
Like
the
results
process.
driven, yeah.
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 And not saying that a martial artist doesn't care about the results or competing, because I think it's also important to test your skills, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being a martial artist is more of a like a concept, or how do you see things, being well-rounded
Mm-hmm.
with as a human being. I feel.
Okay.
I don't know if I confused you.
No. I mean, yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that, or at least what I believe is that when you're being a martial artist, it's not just one thing you do. It's how you live your life. Like from there, I feel like you can take that connection of what you do in one aspect of your life and bring it to other things.
Yeah.
At least that's how I personally see it. Because I see like when, it's like the old thing. It's like it's not just what you do. It's a lifestyle. I feel like it's that philosophy of understanding, like what putting in effort and then getting something out of it. That's what being like a martial artist. Like to me, what that means is that. So martial artist is just one thing I do, but like being a martial artist means like involving myself in the creative process of the whole thing, and then being able to understand like it's like bringing that mind like body connection like from there, like, and like so doing, it's not just what I do, it's what I think, and then therefore like what I think becomes what I do, like just having that seamless cohesion from there.
And
So,
you
yeah.
think that martial artist mindset like goes in all the aspects of your life?
I feel like it does go into all the aspects of the life, because it's that fine balance of like your identity. It's like understanding what part is you and what part has been crafted through your experiences, like from there. But how I think about it, what martial arts has crafted into me is that it's put me in a bunch of it's forced a lot of growth like in me, and I've been able to use those experiences to then translate that to different situations that are not exactly being a martial artist. Like from there, that's how I feel like personally like in my life, and it's put me in situations that I've been able to grow from, not just in like martial arts base, but also just in other bases of life from there.
And are you going to share this amazing story?
Share an amazing story.
That I heard you.
No,
It's
it's
gonna tell you, but you guys are not gonna believe it. Can you tell them, please? How do you got into AMC?
How I got into AMC. So yeah, so background. So AMC is the gym that we both train out of. So okay, I can share that story. It's not that amazing, but
I think it is.
He thinks it is. So I was a lowly high school student, and there was an Australian exchange student in my class, and he had a very I don't know, he didn't like me for some sort of reason, so he challenged me to a street fight, and then he threatened me saying like, oh, I know MMA, mixed martial arts. I had no idea what that meant at the time. I had to Google it afterwards. I'm like, okay, Mr. Fancy Talk. I thought it was like an Australian slang or something. I was like, is that what he calls his boomerang? But from there, so he challenges me to a street fight. He says he knows MMA. He says he trains at a place called AMC. I thought like the movie theater, and then okay, and so I look up the place. I was young at the time. I was still before driving age, so I remember I took the bus, like there. So I took the bus from after school. I took the bus from where my school was to AMC, the parking lot there. And my grand plan was to fight this gentleman outside, this Australian cat. Out in the parking lot. And so yeah, it was a great plan. But as I was standing out there, I'm waiting. The building was still closed. Like the AMC was still closed at the time. But then a coach like walked in. He sees me like standing there. He goes like, "Oh, are you a student here?" And then I said like, "Yes, I am." And then I ended up signing up like that day. But there, like my eyes. I mean, it opened my eyes to like what I guess like trained, like when you know what like trained fighters like were. Because I remember I had a little bit of background already in some combat sports. Like I had done some boxing, and I also wrestled in high school. And I was currently at that time I was also a high school wrestler, like then. But then it just showed like more aspects, like from there, and that's what, it got me curious. Pretty much. I mean, long story short, I got wrecked, of course. Or like. I got
the Australian kid?
Oh no! It turns out actually fast forward like Australian kid actually never trained there. I actually forgot about him because I just got wrecked by the people that were actual students there, and I decided no, I need to learn. I want to learn more of this because on the same token I was like a really weak kid, so I gotta get stronger. Like from there, or I always like the notion of having of just growing. Like from there, like Dragon Ball Z, I was like, man, if I could just fight all the time, that'd be great. So anyway, so the Australian kid never ended up being there. I forgot about him actually because I just got wrecked so bad. Like on my first day, I was like, I really need to learn this. Until like I didn't ask again until like 3 months later. Like, hey, wait a minute, was there an Australian guy here? And then the guy like, no, like we has never trained here. And then so I never saw that guy again. I kind of forgot about him. But I think he went back to Australia after that year. But him wanting to fight me was what led me towards like martial arts. So
that's good.
I guess
that's so interesting.
It's so interesting.
So different. It's like
so different.
It's like a street fight, and you're gonna fight this kid, and then you walk there, and it became like something that you really are passionate about.
That's true. Yeah, it's been like almost. Yeah, it's been like 11, almost 12 years like since that day. So
now you're coaching there. It's like
I know.
Damn.
I don't know how that happened either. Yeah. So that's how that transpired. Yeah, just wanting.
Wanting to beat up on Australia.
Wanted to beat up Australia. Yeah, I was about to take him down under. Yeah. But that's my tale. But it's not that interesting. I'm sure you've been in some interesting street fights, right?
With girls.
With girls. Irving's like, it's not a fight if I knock him out with that. Okay.
It was not a competition. So.
6-year-old girl.
I don't
6-year-old girl. It's like he's 16.
Revenge is mine.
Ask your Irmana, she remembers.
Man. No street fights for me. I've been a chill kid.
Yeah. Me too, man.
Let me ask you the same question.
What's that?
Did your philosophy as when you were a high school wrestler change through all your years in AMC?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I would say it's altered. I think my mindset. I had a combative mindset. I would say. I mean, not much has changed. But what I mean by that is that I really wanted. It wasn't. I realized, I think at an early age, that I had to, that the goal was for me to become stronger, and then it's not just beating other people. I wanted to overcome like myself, and what I mean by that was like just like the physical limitations, the mind limitations, and me just watching too much Dragon Ball Z. Like I just really wanted to push through, and then watching other anime, and just wanting to think like I think this is possible. I don't know, maybe just me believing too much in fantasy, but like I think this is possible. I think I can be more than what I currently am. Like from there, I didn't think of that nuance. I just think if I just fight a lot of people, I'll get a lot stronger. I just thought that's how I thought about it as a young kid. Like from there, but then I think the biggest thing that changed like from there, I think it's just an accumulation of me just picking up things that people like taught around me, but it's the thing where I can hear someone tell me something, that is useful, but I won't necessarily do it. Because, just as a dumb kid, you're like, I'll figure it out. Like from there. But upon, me, this is like not me figuring everything out, but figuring like a little bit more stuff out than what I did know. I realized that, there's a lot of, there is a lot of intelligence in what, the people what my coaches and instructors were telling me. And I find, the only way it became real for me was I had to had my experiences that matched that. So what I mean by that, like a big thing that's changed is like, well, I don't know if it's a big thing that's changed. I think I've always been a lazy person, so I would try to come up with ways to make work easier, and I think I just took more of that to an extreme. It's more of like a, I crafted it to like a more of a finer point. Like from there, I think that's the biggest thing that's changed. Like for mindset from like early on to like now, just being able to work more efficiently. I feel from there, and to keep the knowledge growing and in terms of like I still want to push myself, but I want to do it in a way that's more viable, like understanding that there is limitations, like from there, but then not necessarily accepting that, but finding ways to break through. I think that's the biggest thing that's changed, like for me.
And your goals have changed.
Goals have changed. I'm just trying to survive, man. I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to live the next day. It's hard with killers like all around. But yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah, my goal was just like, I just want to keep doing it for as long as possible, and for some reason I'm still doing it. So I guess maybe I'm doing something right. Okay. But that's I think that's like that's what I was thinking, like going in. So I never thought I would last like this long. So when I was like, well, that's how I think, like looking on like now and forward from there. So then like as far as like longevity wise, like from there, like what do you think about like in terms of like what helps you like in training, that sometimes like what do you have like any tells on how you rest, or like how you're progressing?
Actually, you taught me this, and I had to learn it kind of the hard way after my fight here, and it was like I just didn't have a off button. It was always go for me. It was always thinking about technique after we finished, and I would always like not just do stuff, but actually reflect and think about it. And actually, I was talking to Kensei about it today.
Kensei, wise Kensei.
Again, and
too big for the camera, but continue. Yeah.
It was just being able to turn off and wind off and relax. It's like what I was saying, right? I'm a martial artist. I'm not a fighter. So when I go in the gym, 100% the gym. I don't have a family. I have nothing. It's just me and learning. And then when I go to work, unfortunately,
you gotta take one.
Yeah, I have to just work. And I'm not gonna lie, I do thinking about training.
Yeah.
But when I finish sparring or training, I just unwind, relax. Because always my problem's been up here, so it's like just relaxing my mind. Yeah. And I remember when I was getting ready to compete, I guess you read me very well. You were always trying to help me to not think about the fight and relax and whine. Putting comedy shows when we were going to the weighing, a bunch of traffic. We were gonna be late, and I was freaking out because I was all dehydrated and stuff. And you just try to make me keep calm and just focus on something else. I think that's one thing that really has helped me, is just learn to unwind and just relax mentally and physically. As much as important it is to train is to relax.
Yeah, it's that balance thing. Like that's the big thing I think about in terms of training, is that you need, like, it's like Newton's law of like for every reaction there has to be an equal
opposite
reaction. So I think the same thing too, because like we go and we push our bodies to the extreme. You have to then rest from there, because you need that, or else you'll be unable to keep pushing yourself. You keep whittling it down, like from there, and then in essence you cheat yourself of not being able to accomplish like what you do. It's finding that fine balance of there, because me, I'm lazy, so I'll always find a way to cut corners like from there. But it's just understanding that there's a give and take, that there's a there's a balance, there's like being relaxed, because I feel like one thing with most people like in this, they're just in the just in this kind of trade. There's like, I don't know, some kind of wild chicken sound going on outside, but like I feel like the biggest thing like was the average person is not going to be found like doing martial arts. It's going to take it takes like weird people. Like I see weird person, from there, weird person, like right.
I didn't understand that till was older, that we are like, we're different.
No, it's true. It's like
you can say but we were different. I couldn't understand it. I thought everybody was pursuing, having a dream and being driven with it. And then I was just noticing people. I'm like, okay, people are just not doing stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like people don't understand, and that's what we were talking. Right? That is like, that's why I feel so confident with you guys, is because you guys do understand the struggle and how much it takes, how much time, how much like determination and discipline it takes to do this, because people don't understand. Like normal people don't understand.
It's hard. Well, it's hard for people that aren't putting themselves in or putting necessarily, because we're not just running through obstacles. We're finding obstacles and then running at them. So I think it's a different kind of mentality. Like from there, it's also understanding what's the payoff. Because I feel like especially I feel like in just the generation that we're from, there's a lack of extended payoff. Everyone's looking for getting results like now. I mean, I feel that's always been the case, but I feel even more so just because of how we're conditioned to get results like right away. Just in terms of like how we live our lives, like we can open up a screen, get something to us like right away. People like want stuff now, fast.
Everything's fast.
Like from there, there's just less and less of places where it takes a while to get something out of it. That's how I feel. And I think more so back to like your point of like finding finding that the people around you are like similar. I think that's the thing, is like you stop to really see that you happen to be around people who are thinking on the same mindset as you, and that's why you feel like, oh, everyone must think this way, just because of you're surrounding yourself around people who do things similar.
Yeah, so they have the same mindset. That's why it seems like everyone is the same, but they're not. Just a lot of people just don't want to struggle.
And that's another thing. Well, because a lot of people also will. And I mean, it's nothing on them, but everyone, we only really see life through our eyes. So when you see someone else's life, you see it through your own vision. So you expect them. So if someone, let's say if someone parties all the time, like me, I'm gonna see you. I'm like, oh man, this guy must party all the time, just like me. From there, or whereas you're like disciplined, and you train all the time. You say, oh, this person must they must have something else to do, that maybe not necessarily training. They must have something that they're focusing on. They have some dreams that they're trying to do, but surprisingly, it's like not necessarily the case.
It's funny, right? It's exactly that. I'm like, everybody's just chasing their own thing, and it's like, you don't have to be athletics or anything. It's just everybody's just doing their own thing, finding their way or their path in this world, and it's not the case.
It's hard to find your own path in this world, because I feel like I mean the reason it's difficult is because I mean, this is gonna sound like a very angry teenager. It's because it's society, but I think because what society is trying to set most people up, it's not really trying to set you up for success. It's what it's trying to do is trying to set you up to not fail. And what I mean by that is that it's very especially I think just in terms of like like the modern education system like today, it's just made to create good workers. So it's made to create people who are able to pretty much punch in, punch out, just being able to be part of the system. Man, now I sound like one of those like stay woke people, but wake up people. No, but it's like it's if you break it down, that's what it is. It's like someone, I remember I was talking to like a friend of mine, he explained it to me as well. It's in a very similar way. It's made to create people who are to prevent failure, because if you think about what school teaches you. You know, show up every day, do a little something. You know, for some person, like clock out or get out and then go back again and repeat it. And that's how you're supposed to, you know, because yeah, exactly, because that's how work is. You know, you go in, you have your 9 to 5, you go and do your stuff, and then you go out, you know, from there, and then you get 2 days off, you know, you get a weekend, and then you go back again, do it and do it again. I think I mean, we talked, I remember Scott and I, we talked about this in the previous podcast. But yeah, it's set up to do that because it's easier for people, because it's easier to not think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's easy to turn your brain off and just follow what everyone else is doing, you know. And I feel like in this case, I mean, we sound like like arrogant jackasses saying this, but yeah, well, because we're doing something that's irregular. It's irregular, and there doesn't really seem to be much payoff, you know, for this. So I'm sure a lot of people go like, oh, yeah, there must be some money, or I don't know, you must be some kind of sadist and like violence or something, you know. And by some people, that's like my family. But that's
my
what they say to
family
me.
too.
Yeah, no, but it's true, and I think it's almost kind of an extended sense in because I feel like, you know, coming like our family is just more traditional than like what a typical American family is. You know, me being Filipino, you know, you of course saying that you're Mexican heritage, but it's just more traditional set because like background about me is that both my parents, you know, immigrated from the Philippines. Like technically I'm like first generation American here, so it's like it's like old, like they have an old way style of like looking at life. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get a job, then you're supposed to marry somebody,
Get the family,
get some kids, and, you know, rinse, wash, repeat. You know, like happiness. There's nothing. Like, there's what accomplishments, like dreams. Dreams are stuff dreams are stuff you kill when you have a family. No, it's true. It's like
dreams for rich people.
Dreams are for people that have money.
Yeah, we gotta
like,
grind. No time for dreams.
Yeah, no, and that's and I feel it's not necessarily like necessarily like their only reality affords them, but I think it's just a more accessible reality, especially, you know, for our parents, you know, because not that they couldn't, you know, veer off the path, it's just even harder. Because the thing about for us, it's hard to veer off the path already. You know, we have all these other resources available. You know, we have, you know, modern technology. It's more, I guess, socially acceptable, I guess, nowadays to be like a free thinker. I don't know how hard it is to be a free thinker. It's probably still pretty hard. But I just feel like, but now you put them in a sense that's, you know, not America. You put them like in a third world country, and that's not gonna go well. You know, it's like hard to be. You know where all the dreamers are? They're all on the street or they're dead.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like I'm from it.
Yeah,
that doesn't fly.
Yeah,
because it is very difficult, and I'm very, like I said, I'm grateful for being able to be in. Being here and doing what I love, I guess that's why the thing, like we're doing what we love, and my friend Sean says almost every day it's like another day in paradise. But it's true. It's true, and I appreciate that because that makes me like think and be aware of life. That I am fortunate to be here because half of my friends died. Got killed for
head kicks. They were my friends until
it's like the cartel, and you know how it is in Mexico, so it's difficult.
Yeah, there's more dangers there, you know.
Because the truth is, it's like over there it's really hard to make a living.
Yeah.
And an honest living, and the truth is, it's very tempting.
And a safe living.
Because the truth is, it's like a lot of people are in it because it's very tempting. There's a lot of money. You have no idea. It's like you making a lot of dope. So people need money to survive, and it's hard to get a decent job when you're getting yelled at. You're not feeling fulfilled. You're just getting scrums and barely making it when you can be doing something else.
It's like that lure, you know. But it's almost like the lure of not necessarily the easy way out, but it seems like the easier way until all of a sudden, oh hey, no, your life is on. You're gambling with your life.
And you don't think about it. You're young. You're stupid. You're like, whatever. And you pay the consequences. If you don't get out of there quick, you pay the consequences. But like I said, some people are fortunate enough to see the light and be like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I've seen that, but it's very difficult.
It's very difficult. It's also hard too because that like organized crime, cartels. They typically that's the people they want. They want kids who don't know too much about because then they'll just follow orders and then once that's the only way they know. So then they don't have to think about it.
I was too much of a pussy to do it, so I was fortunate. I wasn't just I wanted money, but I was too much of a pussy. I was like, nah, I'm good, guys. I'm a little bitch. I can take it.
Yeah.
My friends were tougher, so they were like, yeah.
Well, some of your friends are dead now, so being tough can only take you so far. That's why I'm glad I'm not tough. Yeah. So.
But it was like I said, it was difficult, but now we're here.
Yeah.
And it's totally different. Another day in paradise, like Sean says.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting you say about that gamble of life, because if anything, life in itself is a gamble. Like back to the society just reducing failure. You can do all these things to reduce failure, and you can still fail.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So that's why the way I look at it, the way that helps me wanna ascend higher, I guess. Or dream from there is that even if I don't actually wait no the way I look at it, I see it's a no loss situation for me, and what I mean by that is that the biggest loss for me is to not do what I want, because I feel like that's what's gonna cause, of course, once again that's what's gonna cause the most regret, because I feel like when I'm when my body is no longer able to walk, or when my mind's not able to think anymore, from there I won't be thinking, oh man, I sure wish I worked more, oh man, I sure wish I had it's like at the end of the day, when you're dead, you're dead. But what you always have is the things that you accomplish. So I think why worry. It's everyone has different situations. People say, "Oh, hey, that's not for me." Well, if it's not for you, then shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who actually want to do something with their lives, because they should. If you never take that risk to find out, what it is you're searching for, then it's never going to come to your doorstep. You got to go out there and reach for it, and that's why I think no matter what, no matter how this turns up, it's not going to be a failure for me, because I went out and tried to I went out and did what I wanted to do, and no matter what, I'm going to find something I want to do. The biggest failure for me is just being like everyone else, and that's not going to happen to me, so I'm not going to worry about that.
I once heard that they say you regret more the things you didn't do.
Yeah, no, and that's a very true thing. This is just cliche central here, but it's true, because you think a lot of because you're gonna regret the things that you don't do.
Yeah, things you already did, you're already did.
Yeah,
and I remember hearing this from actually Jim Carrey.
That speech, the commencement speech.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. And one thing I really took, it was he said. His dad wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. His dad was one of the funniest people that he ever met.
Yeah, but he didn't do it. He wanted to have a safe job. And he said, with the end of the story is that you can also fail the things you don't like.
Yeah.
It's why then even at least try or something. If you fail, well, it's not, like you say, you don't. It's not considered failure because you're really trying. Yeah. You're really trying to do it. That's far more than what other people are doing. So it's it's a win-win, right? Yeah,
exactly. And it's just finding something that you're passionate about, that you're able to continue doing from there. So I think I think that's a really good point. And because I remember I watched that as well. But you can still fail doing things that you don't like to do. So what's the point of that?
And it's some people just don't see that the fear is too much. And going with our sports, it's a very dangerous sport.
For sure. We are gambling. We're literally gambling with our lives as well, and our health.
But how I see it's in the end, when we're old and we have no hips and
Yeah.
no knees and shit, we're
Yeah.
gonna be happy that we did it.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, when you're old, you're still gonna do that. You're still gonna
gonna
suffer
break
that
down.
same thing.
No, I know.
you
I know. We talked about this too. It's
Yeah.
like, you have a car. Your car's gonna break down whether it stays in your garage all nice and safe,
Yeah.
or if you go out on the road and like joyride in it. I mean, yeah, you could get into like an awful collision, but at least you're having fun as you're doing it, I guess.
And I think that's more dangerous, actually. People are
Yeah.
so fine driving. That's
Yeah.
one of the most dangerous activities. to do.
And people are like, how are you going to
Yeah,
fighting?
how
Like,
can you do
drive
it?
every day, don't you?
Yeah, how can you get in
Yeah.
that metal box
Yeah.
and drive really
Yeah.
fast, and
Yeah.
other people are driving really fast and not
Yeah.
paying attention or
Yeah,
being drunk
exactly.
and stuff?
Yeah, you
You're
trust people
gambling.
out there? I don't trust people.
Yeah, if we actually look at it, the gamble's worse. Like how many
Exactly.
times you step
I know,
in the
yeah.
cage,
You're trying to go to the grocery store, Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. I know what's trying to get me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it was in Juarez too. It was like you're going. Hopefully you say goodbye to your family because you don't
Yeah.
know if you're coming back.
Yeah.
'Cause it was war zone over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people don't feel it that way, but it's the truth in driving. It's like there's a lot of people that can get in accidents.
Yeah.
Zig when you should have zagged. And
Yeah, that's the thing. I know. I just came back from the Philippines, and that's how it's like in the driving. Driving there, it's like good luck, man.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is.
How's the traffic
Yeah.
over there?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I live in my family lives in Manila, so the biggest city there. Just people stacked on people, and then and you know how corrupt governments go. The money doesn't go to transportation; it
Of
goes to their
course not.
pockets.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's never goes to the right place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, oh government. It's always them first, and it's
Mm.
yeah.
Just how it goes. But yeah, I think that's a very good point. Like there's dangers in life, but like fear of death isn't gonna stop death.
Yeah.
Prevents living from
Yeah.
there.
It can
Yeah.
happen, but
Yeah.
it's like that's a gamble I'm willing to take because I really want to try this, and
Mhm.
it's just part of my journey. Maybe I don't go far. Maybe I can be.
But then again, I think you can't think about far. They can't think about results based.
Yeah.
You can't think about that. Just think about what sometimes like when people set sail, they end and exploring stuff. Pretty much what they think they're gonna find is what they never find.
Yeah. Right.
They end up finding something else like from there.
Or sometimes something better.
Yeah, something better, or like also it's like just going out to the unknown. You don't know necessarily what's out there.
I understand.
Like Ender and dating. Doesn't.
You don't know,
anything.
man.
Yeah.
You're good right now. One day, man. Once the ladies come and
No, don't listen to him, Ender. He's just trying to take you.
Oh, they'll be coming.
He is single, ladies. Yeah. Oh. So all right, let's talk about let's talk about the upcoming matchup. We have the next Saturday. There's Habib versus Habib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. So what are your thoughts on that matchup, Irving?
ooh, man, that's a tough one. It's like I've been researching a little here and there and listening
Yeah.
to people. Everybody says the same thing.
What
the
did they
fuck's
say?
gonna happen?
What the fuck's
It's like-
gonna happen? Yeah,
it's
I
like-
know who's gonna win. Conor McGregor. Yeah.
The UFC
Yeah,
is gonna
yeah.
make a lot of bank.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a lot of like good matchups, but like going to the main event, it's like a supreme grappler in Khabib. He's
Versus
just,
Supreme Grappler Tony. Yeah.
and then like this, I guess the supreme scrambler.
Supreme
It's like,
Scrambler, Supreme
yeah,
Supreme Crazy Person.
yeah. It's just
Are we talking about Ryan?
that's another crazy person. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, Tony Ferguson. He's just weird, different.
Yes. Yeah.
Different. It's his like his style. He does some. He's awkward in his striking, in his grappling. Things that he does in grappling, like they're not supposed to work, but they do. And he's just a madman. So it's like you can never count him off. It's gonna be a really good matchup.
Unless it's a crazy battle, then you know he'll win.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He just gets in people's faces and just blast them. It's gonna be a really fun matchup. I really don't. I'm thinking about it, and I don't know what's really gonna happen because.
Well, are you a seer? Seeing the future.
Right? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think Conor McGregor is gonna come in with the chair. and then take the
WrestleMania?
second, buddy.
Before your WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh. Your bum life's changed. Oh. No, it's definitely an interesting matchup, as you said there. But I think in terms of like the grappling exchanges, like from there, I feel like Ferguson is almost too willing to put himself in
Risk.
at risk, and that might not really prove too well given Khabib's tenaciousness and his willing and his just the damage he can do from from top position, you know. So I mean, I think that's a scary gamble like from there, and it's still. I guess the submission threat is there from Tony, but I still have yet anyone. I can't even recall like the last time anyone even was able to try a submission on.
So you think
just because of that pressure? I think Connor's gonna come in and sleep him with the left hand, both of them.
That style he has is just the wrestling.
Yeah.
And so blended in with the ground and pounds. He's really not looking for submissions.
Yeah.
Things more. About.
When we talk about this, and you could just get knocked out with a right hand.
Yeah.
Just like it slept. You know, yeah.
It's a gamble, like you said. It is. I don't know. It's gonna be. But speaking of gambles, though, this fight's been done 3 times?
Yeah. Hey, let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
like
4 times the charm.
It's like knocking
5th
on wood.
time's the charm.
I don't know.
Tiramisu.
Because it was like that time with the week he couldn't make it. It was like one. It was like we knew Friday, right? They were
Friday. We're like, what? Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got a nutritionist now. So.
Nutritionist.
Yeah. What is that? Right?
I'm a nutritionist, Ender. Hey, stop eating so much.
The answer is yes.
See, that's a horrible nutritionist.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hey, could I eat a burger? The answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Could I eat tiramisu? Yes.
Yes. Oh.
See, you'll never be sad in my new diet.
Oh man, yeah, the Ender diet. It will end you. It will end your weight loss goals because now you won't have them
It's
anymore.
because we don't have your metabolism, bro. You're still growing. That's why.
None of my clients live past 40, but that's okay.
His clients.
What do you think about that second matchup, though?
Joanna and Rose. I think. I think it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see like if Rose is unable to put Joanna away. I think Joanna will be able to outlast her like from there. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we could say that, and she could just get cracked again like from there. But yeah,
I like Rose's style. I really like her. Like how it's like very basic. I
like how would you describe her style?
I guess like what they say, very medium potatoes. It's
Eating
like
potatoes, like what's that we're eating here?
Yeah, jazz
Midwest,
hooks. It's like very because she used to be like very hectic, like do a lot of like crazy stuff, like jumping, side kicks and stuff, and then she went with the Trevor Whitman and made her like really like boxer kind of with a very good technique.
Yeah, well, with Rose, she has a good sense of distance. She has good pocket boxing, like from there, and she was able to, get Joanna guessing with the long jab, fade with the jab, catching her with the hook, and then just dropping her like from there. So, yeah, it's a.
Actually, I'm going against. I think Rose is gonna take it.
I think Rose is gonna take it. Okay.
I don't think it was a. I
don't think it's a fluke.
Yeah.
I think just catching him there, but
because you're competing.
I think if you get caught, it's not a fluke that you're there. Yeah.
But it can happen like Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos.
Junior Dos Santos. Yeah.
Which I thought it was. It's because it's disrespectful to say it was a fluke, but I thought. If he didn't get caught with that punch, maybe Cain would do it.
That's like every heavyweight. But yeah, no, it's true. He caught him.
Yeah.
And then bam.
Yeah, he can't be healthy. Going back to what we were saying, right? He can't be healthy.
Go hard all the time, man. Don't what you a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Rose in action. Because, like, Joanna, she was a world beater and probably the best striker. Well, considered the best striker.
But see, that's the thing. Because there's all these things. The best striker, the best striker.
Yeah.
Like, what does being the best striker really mean? Because it's just a matter of having better striking that day or that night. And also, like, what tools are you implementing, you know? Because someone who might, quote-unquote, not be a good... Come on, guys. Like, Kevin Randleman knocked out Crow Cop.
Yeah.
You know,
Shit,
so
that's true.
yeah, like Bob Sapp beat Ernesto Hooves twice. All right, so don't just give me this thing
Yeah,
about
that's true.
better striker. You know, is Bob Sapp teaching you to learn kickboxing from Bob Sapp?
Man,
You know?
learn how to tap quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. It's like just being able to solve that puzzle.
Mhm.
If it is with attrition, like Bob Sapp at that
Yeah.
fight, if it's
Yeah.
like just catching her, like it is a lot of ways to win. That's why this sport is so interesting. There's so many variables,
Mhm.
so many ways to win. Not the
Yeah.
best fighter, quote
Fighter.
unquote, wins.
Yeah, it's just a matter of execution and also what you're just what you're trying to do. Like from there, how are you implementing it? How their reactions are. It's a lot of things to gauge. Being able to adapt to what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what high level
Yeah.
fighting is. That's true.
Yeah. See about that. So when you're coming in, like what fighters did you look up to or like inspired you or like you look that or like what style did you like? What about them?
For
Was
me,
it-
I
yeah.
always, when I started looking at MMA, I guess, knew that the well-rounded fighters is the next
Well-rounded
level.
fighters, yeah.
For me, it
So
was
that's why you like
GSP.
Damian Maya.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
it was like GSP when I started. And
Okay.
one of the reasons like I looked at his gym was because DJ. DJ is one of the fighters I look up to. Is having
Who's
the whole
DJ?
package. Yeah, you know that guy.
DJ Request.
Yeah, this dude that trains at our gym is kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, come on, man. Ender's right there.
But yeah,
Kensei's been silently jumping. So that's how
Slightly just look at him with his slippers, just like
he's wearing a
judging.
sweater that says "I tap that."
Oh
You
man,
can't judge us,
misogynist. Yeah. Oh
you
man.
set yourself out to that one. man. Come on.
Yeah. God damn it, Kensei. All right.
But yeah, that's kind of like what I was looking for. I liked the well-rounded fighters. I always thought that was like one thing I looked myself like trying to do, like being able to implement everything. Like I said, DJ was really one of the guys. Right now, Max Holloway's a
Max
dude.
Holloway,
One of the dudes I really like to
Yeah.
watch. Even though he's right, like maybe striking more than anything, but he's. I guess right now in the game, it's like you need to be well-rounded.
You need to be well-rounded. I mean, well-roundedness is good, but I feel like it's being well-rounded. But you have to be able to place people in spots where you're strong.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest thing. And then being well-rounded helps in. You can be well-rounded but suck at everything, But you have to be well-rounded and being able to put people into your power spots. At the end of the day, that's what's important. At least as far as me, as far as like looking at how effective somebody is. Because you look on paper, oh, this so and so should be better, at this, But then it's just matter how you put them in that spot.
And for you, I never asked you this.
We never
like,
asked. Oh,
Yeah,
for
what
this
fighters?
fighters like so. The way I looked at fighting is I liked. I mean, there's well-roundedness, but like what I was looking at is I'm not so much enamored with like what fighters. With the fighter itself, I'm thinking about like what does the fighter do and what makes it effective for them. So that's how I looked at it. Like in terms of like elements of a fighter's game that makes them good. Because I think because one thing I like watching at first was boxing, and I like boxing because it's very the science in boxing is very it's very refined. What I mean by that is that people have been boxing for hundreds of years, and now like high level boxing really for about over 100 years. Like now, televised, like known, and from there and there. So what I mean by that is like that there's really only so many ways you can implement it. Like from there, it's very varied. But then seeing the highest level of how people can implement it, just taking like variations from there. So what I mean by that, like in terms of MMA, is that I like seeing what fighters do, not necessarily their whole games, like from there. So for GSP, I would look at he had good. What I looked at GSP is he had at first I was like, he has a good jab, he has a good double leg. But then like what I realized like after learning more about fighting is that GSP has great distance control. Like from there, like he's able to dictate the range gap, and then he's then able to time people as they come in, and that's how he's able to get his his doubles like on there, just because of people, because people talk about wrestling a lot, or people talk about, and then they have this like, once again it's back to, oh, this person's the best striker, or this person's the best wrestler. Like, what does that mean in terms of MMA? Your striking is only going to be as good as how you implement it. Your wrestling is only going to be as good as how you implement it. And GSP's wrestling was so good, or his wrestling, quote unquote, what he was great at is he's great at controlling the distance, and then he can set up his takedowns real well, because he understood like what distance the person needed to cross, so he can get that from there. So that's what I admired like from there. I mean, other parts, not necessarily so great. I mean, again, this is me being like real judgy on like, on GSP, but like there's like, just gotta take like the strong elements of their game and what makes it work, from there. I particularly like Jose Aldo takedown defense, just the way he's able to stay balanced and then being able to react, like as far as and by react I mean like he always was able to make people pay for trying to take him down, and that's like one element I think about too. Like, all right, if I'm reacting or if I'm defending someone's takedowns, it's not just good enough I can defend. I need to make sure that they pay. Like the way I think about it, like the way I look at my distance, I think about it like a toll bridge. What I mean by that is like, you can cross, but you're gonna pay the price every time you cross, like from there. And that's how I think about it in terms of like fighting from there. And that's how I and that's when I look at, especially like nowadays, look at people's fighting, or I admire their elements, but like I have to take a look. You have to, take a look at the big picture, see what they do, but then also see how that works for like particular things, because you can't like perfectly implement someone else's, but you can try to implement like a specific part of their game if you understand how it works.
So you see fighters more as techniques and things that you
liked about
them.
Things I liked about them. Because I like boxers too. I like their personalities in terms of like how they did it, but there's no such thing as a quote unquote like great. There are every boxer good loss, except Rocky Marciano, but then still, like from there were elements of his game that were pretty beatable. Or there's weaknesses to everyone's game. It's just like, it's not bad. There's weaknesses to my game, weaknesses to your game, but in terms of like looking at fights and then being able to grow from there, I feel like that's like a good mindset to have, is like to be critical. It's good to be. You have to be critical. Like, this is me being critical of people who have quote unquote accomplished more, but I want to implement their game towards mine, and that's how I gotta be critical of what they do and how I can implement that, or what can I improve upon that, or how are they able to do that part of their game, from there. So that's the way I look at it, and it's just understanding that concept of like what makes a fighter quote unquote successful.
Well, how his techniques work, why?
Why? What did they do? How did they do that? What did the opponent react? How did he or she gauge that reaction? Like from there.
Why he chose his tools to beat him? Why?
From there. What's their strengths? What's their limitations? Sometimes, because that's the thing. Sometimes one's limitations can be their greatest strength. And what I mean by that is look at Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson had asthma. And then at an early age, like he knew that he couldn't he couldn't last that long cardio wise, so that's why he spent like all his energy trying to knock people out in the early rounds, and then and see how that transferred like to his style. Sometimes your greatest limitation can be your greatest strength, because you have to make it work for you, and you can't argue that he wasn't successful. The style was there to beat him, just being able to outlast him, and then once he's not as conditioned, you can get him. But still, sometimes he just put so much of a beating on you in the first couple rounds, or in the first 5 or 6 rounds, that you can't even get back to where you were, or he just knocked you out.
And also his size, right? He was smaller as a
he was
heavyweight.
He was a small heavyweight, heavyweight, only 5'11", like 5'10" maybe, and then like about 230 if that. But just being able to use that speed from there.
In crouching position, moving, coming up.
From there. That's one fighter I'll watch. A young age, because as a boxer, like, oh yeah, I like that, but then realize, okay, why did that work? Why did that work for him? This is me like looking and like trying to grow as like in terms of understanding fighting, like from there. And I know too, like, so that's another thing about Mike Tyson. A lot of people don't realize he was a very intelligent fighter too. Like he would watch, like, you know, I remember watching a documentary of him. He was like, he has an encyclopedia knowledge of boxers. He was just watching like old fights. He was watching like Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard, which is like the first $1 million boxing gate, I want to say. Yeah, but anyway, understanding, like, you know, what worked for those people and implementing that from there. Yeah.
You watch any old school boxing?
Yeah, I watch old school boxing. Like, what would you define as old school?
Like when they
like black and white.
Yeah, black and white, or when they use those smaller gloves.
The small gloves, so they could actually have, you know, push.
And they would clinch and
because
grapple.
they let them work there. Yeah, like Jack Johnson, Joe Gans, you know, from there. Like one of the, I mean, even back in like the 40s, it was more like that. Like Sandy Sadler is one of the great ones. Like from there, one of the only guys to beat Willie Pep multiple times. And then he was the one that taught George Foreman. George Foreman's a great technical boxer. A lot of people don't think about, just because he was big and powerful and could hit hard. But that's the thing. That's another thing too. Like, understanding more about fighting, I realized that it's not about just having, you know, the power. Like, power is no use if you're not accurate. Power is no use if you don't if you're not able to land correctly. You know, so power is only as useful as you make it. So, as you know, positioning, timing, anticipation, being able to footwork, like range, like
it's
that.
Not just hitting really hard.
Yeah, I mean, one, I can't hit it that hard to begin with, so that's why I don't worry about that stuff. I don't have like Kensei power, so yeah.
So you gotta don't take a
I
shortcut.
and I gotta make do with these weak hands.
Kensei power is all we can hope for these days.
I know, right? Hey man, Kensei power is like tough.
Kensei powers activate.
Yeah.
Forget Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's power right there.
That's that ultimate power. Yeah. How about you? You watch old boxing? Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched Willie Pep a lot.
Willie Pep, great movement.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Willie Pep, I mean, no disrespect to him, like, it's very boxing centric movement.
Yep.
You know, like that kind of stuff would get you leg kicked to death. You know?
When I started, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It was like, cause
I mean, not that I would know, but yeah.
Cause like I would watch him, Archie Moore, and like you said, there's a lot of things that won't work because they're like very boxing based. But there's a lot of things that you can.
There's a lot of things you can find and you implement from there. Archie Moore, great.
Yeah, and Sadler took the long guard, trying to, and still working on that. It's like being able like to grapple and have that defense coming forward, moving.
It's a lot of muscling, or that. I mean, it's not really necessarily muscling, but it's a bunch of shoving. Yeah. I mean, you can tell I do that a lot.
It's more of a, they call like a preemptive defense, just kind of like blocking or.
It's like a stiff arm.
Yeah,
but it's just being able to smother. It's a long guard, like long stop hands. But I feel like it's just getting them, just jolting them, and then getting them to stop from there. But he was a real crafty. I really liked his style, like from there, and like the way he was able to cut people off, and it really showed in how he taught, you know, Foreman, because that's all Foreman did, but as a heavyweight with that immense, you know, he was, you know, immensely athletically gifted, but he was also very technically sound, and that's why he was able to become one of the greatest boxers. You know,
and not a lot of people know about him, but yeah, he was really good, really good. Jersey Joe Walker, I like.
Oh yeah, Jersey Joe, yeah.
Even though that's
in terms of unorthodox style, in terms of like walking, like from there.
Yeah, they call him the cakewalk, right? Is it him?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah, his fancy step, almost like walking off the side, but then lure people to come right in, and then he just crack them. Yeah.
And I even watch some of Marciano stuff, like weight transfer stuff.
Yeah, no, Marciano was not a big guy. It was like barely 5'9", if that, and like 180, but could like hit. Yeah. But see, like, once again, man, I don't have any power, so I don't worry about weight transfer.
But he knocked down my boy Jersey Joe with the right hand.
Oh man, that.
Yeah. They say one of the best right hand, and Sugar Ray Robinson too.
Oh yeah, when he knocked out Gene Fulmer.
Yeah, that's the best left hook. Was that it?
No, he stuck in the left hook in front of his left hand. Yeah.
I like to watch it.
Oh yeah, because I showed you that when they broke down that you know, when he left hook Gene Fulmer, and then the other one when he knocked out, when he just doubled up on the left hands and the guy wasn't ready for it, caught him, and then finished him there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good boxers. Who would you say is like one of your favorite boxers of all time?
That's a hard one, like, cause I do. Like
Axing the Mexican.
Yeah, it's funny. The boxing's like religion over there. Like I do. I'm gonna be prejudiced in watching like Julio Cesar.
I tell you what I hate though, Manny Pacquiao. No, I'm just, Manny Pacquiao's garbage. You heard me.
Yeah. Well, he beat a lot of Mexicans, so I agree.
Yeah.
And he like just watching like Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
Watching you know which
God damn it! No, I'm just kidding.
and one of the fighters I like, Aaron Pryor. Remember
I know. Yeah, Aaron Pryor's one of my favorite boxers. Good. Yeah.
And
I mean, just the wars he had with Alexis Arguello.
Yeah, Alexis Arguello was really good.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's funny with him because he was a knockout artist, but he had a very subtle style. Yeah. Like because you know that's the thing. Also you realize like how little box, like teeth, like he would just like, and then like the guy would be out. Like from there, it looked like he barely even touched him.
Yeah, like very pretty style. They call him the gentleman on the ring. He was so good.
Yeah, Alexis Arguello, great boxer. I mean, for me, one of the favorite boxers of all time got to be Roberto Duran. I mean, but that's the thing. It wasn't just power. It was just one of the most skilled, very skilled counter fighter, skilled in fighter, good at cutting off the ring. Just really, sneaky in terms of his tactics, but and real subtle in his technique because he was able to move up so much in weight. Honestly, he fought 135 all the way up to 160.
Yeah, I was gonna say also evolving because he was getting up in weight and then he
was getting slower. He's going up against guys who are bigger than him, but then how he's able to still ride that out with his technique
and knowledge.
Technique, knowledge, and just craftiness. That's what I always admired, crafty fighters, guys who are able to use their technique over not necessarily just out speeding the person from there.
And going with crafty fighters, I have to say my man B-Hop Hopkins. He's one of the best middleweights. He was really good. Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, Marvin Hagler was one of my favorites too.
In my family's they were really, they love Marvin Hagler, and my dad, he was a big fan of Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah.
Man, Sugar Ray Leonard, just one of the just best finishers. Because it's just funny because when you look at him, you wouldn't think of a ruthless style, but when he had people hurt, man. I always remember when he had remember that knockout when he knocked out Tommy Hearns when he was behind on the scorecard, and then this is Tommy Hearns, one devastating devastating puncher.
I just remember how he would go down. It was.
And I think he got knocked down by Tommy Hearns in that fight too. Of course. Well, Tommy Hearns is another great boxer from right there.
Yeah, we're talking about just the long punches. He was so good at the jab and
just talking about vicious right hands. Clean knocked out Duran.
Yeah, for Duran lost to all three of them.
Yeah.
He even fought Marvin Hagler, which is amazing. He was a middleweight.
Matt Hagler, man, just so tough. I don't know, definitely took a lot of elements of Hagler, from there, just good switch hitter, and then just rough to box with.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the power or the chin though, so it's hard to emulate.
But he was something else. It was that switch hitting movement, and then how he would tire his opponent first, and then he would in-fight and just finish him in the body.
In fighting. Yeah, and then just switch. Oh, and of course Roy Jones. Yeah.
It's one example of really being really gifted.
Yeah. But his attacks were really good technically. But then but his defense was his speed.
Yeah.
From there. James Toney. That's the guy who ate himself to irrelevance. Yeah.
They would say he wouldn't train. He would just spar.
But when he was on top of his game, he was great.
Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got Ender.
What?
All right.
Don't put me on the spot.
No. Any closing thought, Ender? What are you up to this week?
What am I up to?
Yeah.
It's who am I up to?
Whoa!
This is
Oh man, ladies. Oh. All right. Well, that's
Even
all.
if I'm not single, I'm ready to mingle.
You heard that, Ender. Always ready to
But
mingle.
I'm always single.
But he is always single. Yeah. But yeah, no, Ender. Like I see you have 2 episodes
Yes.
of your
Of my amazing web series.
of your amazing web series, which is the same channel that this
really?
web series is on. Yeah,
Didn't know about
QwertyWords or whatever. But
Yes.
wait, all he needs is him, which is funny because he's single. Ah. But yeah, and then yeah. How about you? Got any plans this week, Irving?
just like any good Mexican Easter, whatever it is, whatever. It's just an excuse to get together and eat.
Exactly.
Just like anything. Actually, wait. Hold on. Before we go out here, man, Canelo Triple G. You think that happens?
Man, it's that. What was his stupid excuse? What
I don't know. Something about eating cows. Yeah.
Easter.
Yeah. It's Easter, man. You know how we Mexicans do it.
Man,
Oh.
you cheat. That's why Mexicans don't look like that, bro. That's what
I know that.
happens.
He's Irish.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know, Canelo, but hopefully it does for us. I guess. It was a good fight. The first one, it was. I don't know. I hope it happens. That's what I'm trying to say.
I hope it happens too. Those are just. This is one of the few examples of like 2 top of the line boxers like fighting each other. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that often.
To be honest, I'm more excited about Lomachenko and Linares.
Lomachenko, Linares. I don't know, man. I think Linares. Okay, good combination fighter. Good pressure, but I just don't feel like he's got enough movement to stop.
Yeah, well, Lomachenko.
Yeah.
And speaking of my favorite, but I like to watch. Like he's one of my favorites right now to watch.
Yeah.
He's just has a total different like movement. Makes his opponent.
No, man, it's the hat thing he does. That's the secret.
Yeah, you gotta.
man.
With
That's
the,
how you get a good finisher.
That's how you get good boxing, right?
I know
man.
I'm a good finisher.
Shut up, Ender. Anyway.
oh shit! Okay. Well, yeah, I'm pumped for that fight. Just Lomachenko. I love to watch him fight. It's always a spectacle. And I think tonight, or already happened if it was in England, Josh.
Oh yeah, Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker.
I think so.
Sounds right. The Australian guy, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is he fighting in England?
It's in England, so it's probably happening right now.
Okay.
If not that, I guess we'll.
The Australian exchange student grew up.
I got you, man. Come at me, bro. He's like, what? Yeah.
That's why I'm betting on Joshua.
Yeah.
Fuck you up.
Yeah. You know where I'm at. All right, guys. This has been Pankration Philosophy. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if you've stuck around this long. Well, all right.
Thanks.
Stop the press!